Okay, Beryl Wiseman, editor of the Suburban, back with you, and my friends and colleagues, Anthony Bodeport, features editor, Mark Lidbetter, sports editor. And now it's time to turn it over to Mike Cohen for all you need to know in entertainment and society news. Mike, you've got an interview with special singer, special guest, Andrea Superstein.
A life left grieving. All I need is the sweetest song that you could never sing. All I see is the sweetest thing that you will never see.
Well, thank you very much, Beryl. Pleasure to be back again on the Suburban Radio Hour. And that was a bit from Andrea Superstein. She's a outstanding jazz performer, lives in Vancouver, but she grew up in Montreal West. And she's going to be in town next weekend. And I had a chance to speak to her the other day. And here is a brief part of that talk.
Well, it's a pleasure to have Andrea Superstein with me as my guest on the Suburban Radio Hour on CJAD. And Andrea is a very popular jazz singer who calls Vancouver home. She's going to be here on Friday, May the 3rd at the Upstairs Jazz Bar and Grill. That's at 1254 Mackay Street. She's got two shows at 7 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. And of course, Andrea is born and raised in Montreal West. So how does it feel to be coming home, Andrea?
It's always the best feeling. I feel very tied to Montreal and really happy anytime I have the opportunity to come back.
And so tell us, could you describe for the listener what type of jazz singer you are?
Sure. I would say it's more contemporary, maybe a little more accessible to people who might be afraid of the word jazz. It's mostly original music, some electronic elements, and I think just kind of like that free improvisational vibe that the jazz genre has, we bring to our music as well. It's lots of fun. I'd say vocals are powerful and relatable and melodic.
Well, people who follow you know that you're responsible for the critically acclaimed conceptual opus, Oh Mother. And we were talking off air. Can you just describe to our listeners what is Oh Mother all about?
Sure. It's a collection of songs that I wrote based on a lot of interviews that I had with mothers from various backgrounds and ages. I wanted to know what some of the struggles or commonalities there were in the parenting experience. And so from those conversations and stories, I composed music, and that's what the album is.
All right. Well, it sounds very exciting, and people can go to our website and read my entertainment notebook for more details on Andrea's thing. And just a little shout out to David Superstein, your dad, who was a very popular teacher at my old Wager High School. So if he's listening, hello, Mr. Superstein. I never called him David. It was always Mr. Superstein. He was very popular, and I'm sure that you'll be looking forward to seeing Mr. Superstein when he come to town as well.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.
Well, that was great. Happy Andrea gave me the time, and I'm sure a lot of people will look forward to seeing her show next weekend. Moving on to some other entertainment news, please go to our Suburban On Air video platform, Cohen in the City. I interviewed last week actors John O'Hurley and Billy Baldwin. Yeah, John O'Hurley, the Jay Peterman from Seinfeld. It was such a fun talk. They were in town yesterday for a fundraising pickleball tournament for Melanoma Canada at Lower Canada College. And I got to talk to them a little bit about that and about their respective careers. Very, very interesting. In my column this week, some notes about the Montreal Canadiens and their final game of the season. The Bell Center was alive, even though the Canadiens did not make the playoffs. Lots of excitement. And among my notes, I spoke to Michel Lacroix, who is the golden voice, the PA announcer at the Bell Center for Habs games. He's been doing it for 30 years now. And read my column. You could read it online on thesuburban.com if you wish. And you'll find out why Michel Lacroix had to change spots the last couple of years, where he does his work from and how challenging that's been. Family Feud Canada, it's going to be back for season 6 on CBC. Casting's officially begun, and the show's on the lookout for fun and energetic families from Montreal who share a relation through marriage, lineage, or law. And families who make it onto the show have a chance to win up to $30,000. Tennis star Jeannie Bouchard from Montreal with her family was on a recent episode. So just go to cbc.ca/family/ actually cbc.ca/family feud editions, and you'll have all of the information. La Pizza Week is coming up May 1st to 7th. Always look forward to that. Unfortunately, it's starting. It's just starting actually the day after Passover, so perfect timing where I can eat bread again. Their exclusive delivery platform is DoorDash, and some of the proceeds will be going to Make-A-Wish Foundation. So I'm hoping if I get a chance to do some tastings, I'll share my feedback with you next week. So lots going on in the city coming up in my column this week. Why was the Philadelphia Philharmonic Orchestra in town, and what was so special about their conductor? You can go to the Suburban.com to Cohen in the City, Cohen Confidential. In our blog section, you could read my entertainment blog for everything going on in Montreal and beyond. Thanks very much, Beryl. Back to you.
And thank you, Mike. You're listening to Suburban Radio Hour. I am Beryl Wiseman, editor of the Suburban, and now we're going to hear from our great weather specialist, Stephen Bellina. Steve, what do we got to look forward to?
Good evening, Montreal. I'm Stephen Bellina, and this is the Suburban Weather Minute. We're coming to the end of April, which has been a rather wet month in the Montreal region. With the rain that fell over the course of this past week, we've now exceeded 100 millimeters. That's over 4 inches of rain for the month. On top of that, we had 26.2 centimeters of snow, and that included a trace of snow on Wednesday morning behind a rather strong cold front. It was the second strong cold front this week that has resulted in quick temperature drops. Last Sunday evening, a week ago, we had some thunderstorms actually late in the evening that moved across the Montreal region, quickly dropping temperatures, strong winds, set up a very cold Monday. We even had some graupel. Graupel, often confused as hail. As a matter of fact, it's called soft hail. It likes to occur on the edges of the season when we have a cold pool of air aloft in the upper atmosphere, typically occurring in April and October, but it can occur at any time of the year. It tends to be very small, less than 5 millimeters in diameter. It's basically a super cooled snowflake, and typically melts quickly. But there was some that did fall last Sunday evening. It accumulated in some neighborhoods, but as I said, it did melt away quickly. The same occurred with Wednesday morning snowflakes that again accumulated in off-island locations, but was very short-lived. The sun came out in the afternoon and temperatures steadied. There was a rapid temperature drop though on Wednesday. We went from 10 Celsius at 9 in the morning down to 1 Celsius. So it was quite a strong cold front. Those are going to become less and less as we head into the month of May. Matter of fact, looking ahead, the weather looks to warm up quite quickly this week. We're looking at highs into the low 20s for many of us, and that's going to include some showers and thunderstorms at times. As we're heading into that season. Thunderstorm season is right on our doorstep. It is going to be an unsettled week. There is a lot of opportunity for some showers, but none of the days look like washout. The key takeaway here is that as we head into the first 2 weeks of May, we are looking at temperatures to warm considerably, and that is welcome after we had a rather coolish April. You can always get an update on the weather at thesuburban.com under the blog tab, the Suburban Weather page. Until next time, I'm Stephen Bellina.
Thank you, Steve. And we'll be back, Mark Ledbetter and his special guest, right after we check in at the CJD Traffic Center.